to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, presented by Brandon Elliott. This show will be going over all aspects of real estate investing and is intended to educate, motivate, and prepare you to take action on your first or next real estate investment. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Brandon Elliott. I'm excited today. We got Blaise in the house. He is from Florida, started Timeshare Rental Pros just in 2018, and it has been a game changer for the timeshare industry. It's really the stock market for timeshares, right? Focusing more on points. It's been incredible. They have been able to pay out over $15 million to consumers, and they focus on only branded resorts like the Ritz-Carlton, Marriott's, Hilton's, etc. And it's pretty crazy to see, what we all believe to be understood or the old, way of getting timeshares, how things have changed. Okay. And how the more education you get on this subject, it is real estate. You can capitalize off of it. You can make a great ROI and so much more. So Blaise, thank you so much for jumping on the call with us today. How are you?
Thanks a lot for having me, Brandon. Appreciate being here with you and your audience.
Yeah, thank you. So you're in Florida right now. Give us the 30,000 foot view for the listeners. If they don't know who you are, your background, how you got into this space, and a little bit of what you guys are doing today.
Sure, thanks. Yeah, so, I'm a technologist. I wrote my first line of code when I graduated from college in 1995 and quickly realized I was the absolute worst coder in my class.
Let's go.
I was the dumbest dude on the team, and you work in teams now in development, and we did then, but I was pretty good at explaining what our team could do. So my team quickly fired me from coding and said, just be our mouthpiece. You're dangerous enough, a little bit. So I spent really my career in banking and insurance, building underwriting platforms and pricing engines. And a gentleman from the insurance industry approached me in 2016, 2017, and he mentioned the word timeshare. And I was like, no, absolutely not. I came from, banking and insurance. It's just a ton of compliance. I'm like, I'm not getting involved with that. My parents were quote unquote ripped off with timeshare. And I finally listened to him after getting to know him. He's a great guy. He's a genius. He's my business partner, Chris King. And timeshare in the 90s changed. They ran out of weeks to sell our parents and grandparents, and they created a points system. So if you're a Marriott Vacation Club member now or a Hilton Grand Vacation Club, you log in like you do to Airbnb or Expedia. Instead of putting your credit card in to check out, you use your points.
Yep.
Every year, timeshare owners pay maintenance fees. Those maintenance fees grant them a certain amount of points, and they use those points to book reservations. They didn't until January of 2018 when we launched this. There was no way to quickly liquidate those points. Life happens, right? Your kids are sick, you lose your job, your business is struggling, there's death, divorce, life is very unscripted. So if you can't use those points that you're paying $200, $2,000, there's people that pay $20,000 a year in maintenance fees. If you can't use your points, they literally go to waste.
Wow.
So we created a market where they could speak with an advisor. Our advisors we've never charged our owners to use our marketplace. It's completely free. They speak with an advisor. The advisor puts in how many points you have for rent. We don't buy them, we rent them. And then how long the points are good for, basically. And we give you a price. If it works for you, that money gets direct deposited into your bank account in under 72 hours.
Okay,
so we created an environment.
Let me understand this. So basically that platform, it's almost like a real estate agent on the back end that's verifying the points and so forth, and then trying to find almost like a broker to try to find somebody that's willing to rent those temporarily.
Yeah, great question. So we are the market maker. We will not only quote the price, but we are going to be the ones that rent those for you.
Great.
And so we give our owners cash, and then we take those points and help our travelers. We have over 100,000 travelers now, and we know where they want to go. They tell us where they want to go. And so we turn those points into listings or reservations and publish them on 80 of the world's largest online travel agencies or OTAs, such as Airbnb and VRBO.
I love it. So talk about the ripped off part for a second, because, you mentioned that your parents got ripped off in the past or they felt that way. A lot of people, when they go through the presentations or timeshares, they feel like, is this really worth it? Or am I going to take advantage of it? Now, I've seen both sides. I've seen one side of individuals that got their timeshare and they love it and they eat it up and they take advantage of it every year, wherever they want, like amazing opportunities there. And then the other side of people that are desperately trying to get out of it. And I'm always trying to wrap my head around, why are they trying to get out of it so bad? Was it a bad investment? Are they not taking advantage of it? Did they where did it, go out of control that they feel like they got ripped off?
It's a good question. And to be fair to the industry, like any industry, there's good actors and bad actors.
100%.
And so timeshare is great when you're retired because you can travel 365 days of the year. The problem, and I guess my parents didn't really get ripped off because they weren't bamboozled. The contract was legitimate. When my mom and dad were raising us, they could only go on vacation when we were out of school. And so everybody wants to. I finished up my career in Naples, Florida, where I live now, but I grew up in Michigan, and everybody wants to go to Florida and Michigan on winter break. So what happens? Availability is gone. So timeshare stinks if you are on a very rigid travel schedule. Timeshare can be amazing if you can travel during the week. If you can, everybody wants to go to the water parks for July 4th, like Wyndham Glacier Canyon, right? It's impossible to get in there over July 4th because everybody's got that week off in the summer. So again, it's good and bad, but you have to be really careful what you're signing up for.
I love it. So who is this for?
So it's for, right now there's over 10 million timeshare owners in the United States and growing. And what it is again, as we were talking before the show, life happens, right? Life is, as we all know, it's very unscripted. There's illness, there's, you lost your job, or, your business is slow, or there's a death in the family or divorce. For all those unscripted events, as a timeshare owner, when you pay your annual maintenance fees, you have more points that come into your account every single year. And if that year you're having some financial stress or you just can't take enough time off to use those points, they typically just go useless. They go to zero. So this is a market for existing owners that can't use their points and want to get paid a fair price for them.
Wow.
And it's also for, those people where, they can't get out of it. The exit business is just as dicey. Getting out of your timeshare is just as dangerous as getting into it. That would be for another episode talking about timeshare exit, or maybe we cover it later. But it's for people that want to monetize the points they can't use immediately. It's for them. And then a second thing that we could talk about later is when you do want to do it, there's very good, legitimate resale companies. You have to be a licensed realtor. And so while you're going through the resale process, it's nice to have your maintenance fees covered while you're waiting for it to sell. And then the last part would be if you want to generate some rental income, which we can talk about too.
Well, let me ask. So when somebody isn't taking advantage of it and they do want to use your platform and kind of rent out their space and try to recuperate some of their costs, how much are they actually profiting? Are they breaking even? Are they still losing some? Obviously, it depends on many different factors, but what do you guys typically see on that side of the data for the consumer?
It's an excellent question. Everybody wants to know, what do you guys pay for points? There's a metal status that gives you different privileges, and then there's the amount of points, and then how long those points are good for. Those are the three main things that make up our pricing portfolio, our pricing platform. But it ends up being, that's a really good question you asked. We end up covering 80 to 90% of what your actual maintenance fee costs are.
Cool.
So to make money, which I'm sure you've got lots of investors. If you, for example, went to eBay, and your listeners can do that while they're listening right now. They went to eBay and they typed in Marriott timeshare for sale or Hilton timeshare for sale. You will find people that want out of that annual maintenance fee obligation, and they are literally giving away their timeshare that they spent $20,000, $40,000, $100,000 on.
Wow.
They are giving it away, and all they ask you to pay is the transfer fee, which is usually no more than $500. So if you can pick up something like, right now, let's use Wyndham, for example. It's I think the largest brand. Wyndham, Marriott, Hilton are the three largest in the world. But if you went to look up for a Wyndham Platinum owner, this is somebody who gets 1 million points or more per year. Yeah. They spent north of $100,000 to get this. You can pick that up for $500. Yeah. And you do have maintenance fees, and your maintenance fees on that $1 million are going to be, $8,000 or $9,000 per year. But if you really want to study the rental game, you can turn that $8,000 or $9,000 into $16,000 to $18,000 worth of revenue. So there is a way to generate rental income on there, but you would have to buy that timeshare from the secondary marketplace. If you bought it directly from the brand, it wouldn't work because of that large upfront cost. But if you buy it on the secondary market or get them for free, or just the transfer of a deed, because remember, this is deeded real estate, you can generate ROI for sure.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, it's just like anything, especially in real estate, the numbers matter. All types of deals are out there. If you do your due diligence properly, you'll be able to see upfront that you can make money in the longevity of it. So do your due diligence. We're not, your lawyer doing this, but
this is not legal or financial advice.
Yeah. But this is true life experience and our opinions behind it that you can take action on. So if there's deals out there to be made on the secondary market, avoid the first. So when it comes down to these platforms, like at the end of the day, you guys started this in 2018. Obviously, you've seen a lot in that time frame. What actually got you and Chris to partner up? Like, who came up with this idea?
So we were in a shared office space, and he knew I was a technologist, and we were developing platforms for very large insurance companies. And then a real estate company had approached us, and Chris had insurance and a real estate background. And as I would walk by his office every day, I would see 5-6 screens full of spreadsheets. And I was like, and because I'm a data guy, I was like, what are you doing? He's like, and then, again, I was turned off when he mentioned the word timeshare, but eventually I came to fall in love with this guy. He's a super cool dude. Nice. And he's like, I buy timeshares off of eBay and I turn them into rentals and put them up on VRBO. Nice. I said, yeah, how much money do you make? He's like, like 75 to 100 grand. And I'm like, yeah, how much time do you have to put into that? He goes, I really only do it in the summer times when my kids are out of school. And, he goes, maybe an hour or two per day, like 2 or 3 months out of the year. And I thought, whoa, that is amazing. You're banging out almost 100 grand a year. And so then I said, well, how many resorts do you do? And I just started looking. He's like, well, I can only do, 3 or 4 of the actual resort locations. You see them in my spreadsheets and the renters and all this stuff. And so when I hear that, it's spreadsheets slowing them down. And, I'm just thinking, I was always loved automation and workflows and logic. And so we got on with my lead software developer, who's still with me to this day, 20 years later. And we just said, hey, let's look at building a process where we could manage, 10 resorts, 20 resorts, 30 resorts. And now we're managing over 10,000 listings. We're the largest resort host in the country for these major platforms. So wow. Chris had a limitation, and I was able to open up those limitations with some technology, and we've been growing it together ever since. So we tested it in 16, 17, and by January of 18, we're like, I think we have a business here.
Heck yeah, I love that. That's awesome. Talk to me, like, you've seen a lot over the years, I'm sure of it. So what kind of learning curves have you guys either experienced or seen others out there in the timeshare space that just come to mind of like, man, I wish we would have known that, or we would have learned that, or we could have saved this person this? Any learning curves along the way?
Yeah. Again, another excellent question. I think one thing, especially for like full disclosure, like start with like, where are the hidden traps?
Yeah.
A big problem is there is language in every timeshare contract that talks about commercialization.
Yep.
You can't use 100% of your points for rental. If the brand sees you doing that, they will send you a warning letter, and they can actually, shut your time. They can force you to cancel. They can cancel your timeshare contract. They have the right to do it.
Yeah.
So when the caveat to, hey, go buy something on eBay, one, you're going to avoid that massive upfront cost. So you're really, truly going to have a great deal. But you need to do this for enjoyment also. You cannot just buy timeshare points and think you're going to rent them out. They will find you and shut you down. Wow. So we tell our owners, hey, you got to at least use 50% of this for you and your family. If the brand sees, kind of the numbers we see, if the brand sees you using more than 50% and it's not a family member's name on the reservations, they're gonna be leaning towards, is this a commercialization violation? Now, the language is unbelievably opaque. There's no, they're not gonna, I've never heard of a timeshare owner being sued by their brand, but they can shut you down.
Yeah. Have you had customers get shut down?
We had one, and what we learned is this gentleman, very friendly guy, but he had purchased over 5 million of these points I was just talking about with Wyndham. He had bought over 5 million points off of eBay, and we were very young in the business. This was right in 2018, and he rented all of them to us. We thought, wow, this is awesome. We picked up 5 million points.
Yeah.
This huge contract. Well, we quickly learned that because, he said he had a medical issue that year. I guess without getting into it, he just was sick of the rental business. It's not an easy business dealing with the consumer traveler, especially at large scale. And so, they sent a warning letter to him, which got to us. And, they didn't shut him down. They didn't take his timeshare back. But what they said is, we're going to be strictly monitoring your account. You cannot have any commercialization at all. So now, this guy's stuck with 5 million points. And I told you on $1 million, your maintenance fees can be $8,000 a year. This gentleman is now stuck with, $40,000 a year in maintenance fees. To use up 5 million points, you literally have to be traveling 75% of the year,
Wow. Yeah.
So he's stuck with a massive maintenance fee bill, and you can't just get out of these. You just can't say, oh, hey, thanks, I'm done with my maintenance fees. That bill shows up every single quarter or every single year, depending on how your brand bills you, and you can't get out of it. And a lot of times, because it's deeded real estate, when you die, it can pass on to your heirs, which is a whole nother thing you got to be really careful of.
He's got to start a new business. Go on vacation with him. We'll call him Bernie. Go on vacation with Bernie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He'll be in the spare bedroom. That's wild.
Yeah, so you got to be, there are definitely some pitfalls, but to be safe, you want to enjoy discounted travel. You're definitely, if you get it off of eBay, or if you just, let's call it, you get your time fare for the cost of the transfer fee only. There's no way to lose there, and start really small and do it with a brand where you see, like Hilton, Marriott, Ritz-Carlton, Wyndham. These are very nice resorts that, we could talk about. There's a big difference between resorts and hotels. These resorts, 95% of them, there's a full kitchen in there with every single utensil, pots, pans, full-size refrigerators, full-size kitchens, balconies, lazy rivers. There's a washer and dryer in every single unit. So you go home with clean clothes. I mean, these are really nice places. These are not a hotel room.
Yeah, it's like your secondary home. You're just taking and you're going on vacation, which is beautiful. So talk to me, how their status with Hilton, Marriott, and so forth. Do you automatically get that status when you're buying those points?
Not from the secondary market. So what you will get is, like, one of the biggest things for these statuses, in my opinion, of why the top levels are worth it, even if you buy from the secondary market, is the booking window. Yeah. If you have, the starter packages or the lowest tier ones, you can see availability 8 months in the future.
Sure.
If you're, a founder's, a level or a chairman level, you have 12 months or 13 months of visibility. So who gets the best rooms at the busiest times of the year? It's the people that have the largest booking window. Now, the booking windows do transfer with your ownership, so that's a good thing. But sometimes you get free stays, you get free guest name changes, booking fee, all the, other perks besides the booking window, they do not transfer when you buy it from the secondary market.
Gotcha. How many timeshares do you have?
We don't own any.
Really? Okay. Well, talk to me about that.
So because of that annual maintenance fee and because of this market we created, we have, again, over 11,000 listings. So we travel by renting owners' timeshare points. So if I rented 1 million points from you and you were a Wyndham owner, they have a beautiful resort in Beaver Creek, Colorado. I've already booked my 5-night stay for my kids' spring break next year off of a Wyndham Founders account. So I'm able to get those points at a great price and use those to book my travel for myself and my family.
Let me ask, this might be a stupid question, so feel free to give me a quick course correcting in case. But when it comes down to points, it does need to be associated with the timeshare points, correct? Because if there was just like Marriott points, if I have a million Marriott points, but I don't have any timeshare, would I still be able to lock in on some of the timeshare options?
Yeah, so Marriott has Bonvoy. You cannot use your Bonvoy points for, timeshare. But what you would do is if you found a Marriott owner, there's tons of Facebook groups. So if you went onto a Facebook group, here's another cool tip for your listeners. If they don't want to buy timeshare from the secondary market, they don't want to buy timeshare directly from the brand, but they still want amazing discounted travel, you can go on to the Facebook Marriott timeshare owners group. There's tons of them. And you could say, hey, my family and I are looking to go to this Marriott resort, and I'd like to, rent those points from you. And there's plenty of owners that are they're happy to just have their maintenance fees covered. Yeah. So you can say, hey, listen, in my neck of the woods at Marriott Crystal Shores, it is an unbelievable, beautiful resort in Marco Island, Florida. You could find out when you want to go there. When do you and your loved ones want to go there? And you could go to the Marriott group and just say, hey, I'm looking to take my family to Marriott Crystal Shores on these dates. I would really appreciate it if you could book those for me. And they're typically going to ask you for, whatever their maintenance fee are, which is about 80 cents per point that a Marriott Chairman's Club is paying, 80 to 82 cents a point, which means you're going to go to Marriott Crystal Shores for $800 a night, as opposed to what's listed on their website, which is anywhere from, $1,000 to $1,200 a night. You're talking about 20 to 40% discounts on travel if you have a timeshare owner book that for you.
Okay. So as far as the investor side goes, you don't believe in the investor side of it. You believe more on the convenience and luxury of the opportunity of renting from the investors. Correct?
Yeah. The only way I would, believe, again, I don't own timeshare myself anymore. Yeah. I did have a Ritz-Carlton at one time, but again, it was better to just rent. But if you were going to buy it from the secondary market, it would have to be for two purposes. One, because you enjoy traveling at a discount. Yep. And two, you can generate a little bit of rental income to offset your maintenance fees. That would be, that would work. And it does work for millions of people. That's why they buy it from the secondary market. But the easiest way to enjoy these luxury resorts without having that annual maintenance fee commitment is just to go online, find groups of timeshare owners and say, hey, I'd like to go to this resort on these dates, and would be happy to cover your maintenance fees on your points that it takes. That's the easiest way.
And those can be a couple thousand.
You can go to Wyndham Bonnet Creek. Wyndham Bonnet Creek is an amazing resort inside of Disneyland's property. You're actually on property, Wyndham Bonnet Creek. Those are retailing at $250 to $500 a night. If you're getting them direct from the owner, you can literally get it for $100, $150 a night.
Nice.
So
That's all.
it's just find the brand you like, find
Yeah.
out where you want to go, then go
Yep.
find those owners online and and just ask for help. And there's millions of owners that can't use their points every year.
Yeah. And then start off with either eBay or just jump right into Facebook groups to find them.
Absolutely.
I love that. Have you ever thought or went down the rabbit hole of like travel hacking of, free flights, free car rentals, free hotels using points?
I haven't. I think there's a guy called the Points Guy that's
Yeah.
kind of mastered that. It's the nuance of managing 11,000 listings is so crazy. We are so busy. We've got over 100 team members in 4 countries just to manage the tens of thousands of owners that we've helped. So we are fully committed to timeshare points only.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah. I was thinking about like competitor wise, because like I have like 7 million points on American Express, but I know how to transfer them to certain partnerships to get free flights and free car rentals and not 1-for-1 ratio to kind of like piss away those points, but get 7 to 21x return.
Wow.
And so really like the hotels, the car rentals, like we have Marriott status, very high platinum, but it's always been free for like the last 8+ years. And so the only thing that we pay for is like the food and some of the status we get food. But food and like fun, like the experiences.
Yeah. That's so cool. Always an opportunity with points.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. So cool. Well, talk to me. What else should the listeners know that we haven't covered so far?
Yeah, a lot of people are like, I think this is really interesting. How, is there a way to work with you guys? And we do work with people there's 10 million timeshare owners in the country. So there's a lot of them, but we do have an affiliate program. People can go to our website, timesharerentalpros.com, and click on partner with us. If you want to help timeshare owners, liquidate their points and make some money doing that, you can work with us. There's people that resell timeshare work with us. And so there is a way to work with us. And if you just want to see these resorts, we do have our own online travel agency, tz.com, Tazort Travel Resort Style is our tagline. But you can get discounted travel. We have like a last minute deals at Tazort.com, and it's where we had inventory that we're going to lose also because we pay cash up front for these points. All of our competition, and there's some great competitors that we have, very good companies, they will only pay you for your points if they're successful, which means only after a renter checks in. What differentiates us from every competitor in the world is we're going to pay you cash up front for those points. And whether we use those points or not, you could care less as the owner because I've already paid you for them.
Wow.
So if we're not perfect at what we do. When we need to blow out inventory, we're blowing it out for cost. Sometimes we're blowing it out for 50% loss. So you can take advantage of our weakness and help us out too. We liquidate resort inventory every single day. I mean, you can be going to beautiful resorts for under $100 a night.
Come on. I love that. Talk to me for anybody out there that wants to either cancel or sell their timeshare. I know the contracts are all different and can be complicated, can be aggressive. From my understanding, you need a real estate agent to be able to handle that transaction. But talk to me, what are the insights that people need to know?
Yeah, I mean, this will probably be one of the greatest things for your listeners, whether it's for yourself or your parents or your grandparents.
Yep.
I would say the timeshare exit industry is unbelievably predatory, and I'm comfortable saying that. There's some great, honest companies, but you got to be unbelievably careful. What they do, just to give you a heads up, what they do is, like the biggest red flag for a timeshare exit company is if they don't publish the price on their website, prepare to be sold.
Yeah.
What they do, you're already in pain. You're only contacting them because you're in pain. What's the pain? You can't pay your maintenance fees. So then they get you to say, oh yeah, my maintenance fees are, $3,000 a year. Oh, you're a 50-year-old male. The actuarial tables say you're going to live to 80. So let's say you're going to live another 30 years, and it's like a couple $1,000s a year. So you realize, Mr. Dietz, you have $60,000 worth of guaranteed debt, and that's if your maintenance fees don't rise, correct? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, well, have you ever seen your maintenance fees not go up every year? No, they go up 5 to 20% a year. All right, so you got $60,000 to $80,000 worth of debt. That's going to be then transferred to Bobby and Timmy. You told me about your two sons that you love. You're going to strangle your kids with that debt. So, what we could do today, we can get you out of that for $20,000. You give us $20,000 and we'll get you out of your contract. And they say, have you ever seen ROI like that? You just agreed with me that you have $60,000 to $80,000 worth of debt, and I'm going to get you out of it for $20,000. And that's how and it's unbelievably high pressure, and they make you feel really stupid for your decision to buy timeshare. The fact is, every single brand, there is a way to get out of your timeshare. They have ethical exit programs for 95% of timeshare programs. The resorts there is a way to get out. It's not easy. It's a lot of work. But if you go to pay a company, and again, we work with an attorney. It has to be attorney backed. Yeah. You want to work with an attorney, and you want to make sure there's a title company involved, because this is the transferring out of your name of a deed. So it's got to be done properly. Sure. But it should always be a fixed price that's published. We had so many of our owners come to us when we said, hey, we'd like to rent your points again this year. I went through the exit process. I can't believe I paid $20,000. It's like, what? Yeah. So we finally found a great attorney that this is all he does. Price is published. It's $2,500 a contract. That's theysavedme.com. We call it ethical exit, and it's 100% guaranteed. So whether you work with us or somebody else, it better be an attorney. They should publish their price online. There should be nothing to hide on the price, and it should be 100% guaranteed. The only way these brands don't let you out of your timeshare is if you're behind on your maintenance fees. Yep. So you have to catch up. When the timeshare exit attorney, whether you work with ours or somebody else, tells you to pay your maintenance fees while you're going through the exit process, which can take anywhere from 3 to 16 months, pay those maintenance fees so they don't have an excuse to keep you trapped in it.
Yeah, that's really good. Is that what you had to go through to get out of the Ritz-Carlton?
Yes. Yep. And it was what spurred, because I had actually been taken advantage of by an attorney. I was going through a divorce at the time, and we had to get out of this timeshare. Yeah. It was unbelievably expensive. So, whenever I go through pain as an entrepreneur, I use it as an opportunity. I always say, I tell my kids, you don't learn from winning. You learn from losing. You learn from pain. So make your pain pay you. Yeah. And, that's what I did. So there is a way out of the timeshare. If you have time, then do it yourself. Don't pay anybody. If you have time, do it. If you don't have time to do it, find an ethical attorney or an exit firm that publishes their pricing right online. Yeah. There should be no sales involved. You should not be getting sold anything to get out of your timeshare.
Yes, amen. That's so good. That's really fire.
Or you can put it on eBay and you can even say, I'll even pay your transfer fee. Just take my timeshare from me.
Yeah. Take it. I love that. That's so good. And what is the name of that again? The website?
Theysavedme.com. Yep. And if you go, and I can tell you, we call them ethical advisors. Yeah. I'll even give you our ethical advisors tool that they use when they do these meetings with owners. It's theysavedme.com/ROI.
ROI. Love it.
Yeah. So the pricing is published. The return on investment for getting out of it is published. But again, fixed fee, attorney and title company backed, and guaranteed. If you don't get out, you're getting your money back.
Yeah. So good. I love that. Well, there you go, Blaise. That's one of those situations. We go through our trials, our tribulations to not just learn for ourselves, but be able to save other people the time, headache, frustration that we've gone through. So I appreciate you sharing with the listeners, because a lot of people have experienced similar, and they need help. They need a real solution, and they don't want to get taken advantage of with all the smoke and mirrors out there. So I appreciate you sharing.
Thanks for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, Blaise, talk to me. Where can our listeners find you, connect with you, and if they want to use you guys as a resource, how can they work with you guys?
I appreciate so Timeshare Rental Pros with an S, Timeshare Rental Pros. That's a red and white logo. You'll see our site. Very easy. Again, when you click to speak with one of our point rental advisors, we call them, they will never ask you or your parents or grandparents for money. We've never sold a product to our over 10,000 owners. TimeshareRentalPros.com. They saved me. If you or a family member needs to get out, the pricing is published right on the site. It's $2,500. Either one of those websites, you're going to talk to somebody that is never going to sell you. They're going to answer all of your questions for as many phone calls as you want.
Yeah, that's so good. I love it. Well, guys, I highly encourage you, reach out to Blaise. He's a wealth of knowledge, genuine human being. He's been there, he's done it, he's experienced it, and he's got the tools and the strategy to help you out with your needs. So if you found value in this podcast, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. You give a 5-star review after listening to a few of those episodes. Greatly appreciate all the love, all the support. You guys are amazing. Keep it up. Share this out. If you guys want to connect with me, you can do so on Instagram by going to Brandon Elliott Investments, or on Instagram, our business page is Credit Counsel Elite. So Credit Counsel Elite. If you are looking to get up to $500,000 with interest rates as low as 0%, I'm talking about how to get massive amounts of funding so that you can start the business, grow the business, jump into real estate, really understand how the banks and lenders are judging you to get up to 90% approval odds, the highest limits possible, and the best terms and conditions. Check out Credit Counsel Elite. That's Credit Counsel Elite. And love you guys all so much. You guys have an amazing day. Get out there and crush it. We will catch you on the next episode. Till then, God bless. Blaise, appreciate you.
Thanks, Brandon. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. We are finished, sir.
Thank you.
Yes,
Love
sir.
your energy, man.
Yeah, thank you. Anything that I can do for you or connect you with anyone?
No, man, you're great. When you brought up credit counseling, we were contacted last week. I don't know if these 3 ladies out of Las Vegas, I think they either do credit repair, something to do with credit counseling. And they said, we've been referring, 15 or 20 clients a month to this attorney. But the attorney said that they can't compensate us because we're not attorneys. I said, well, I don't want to say anything negative about the attorney you're referring your timeshare people for exit to, but you absolutely can be compensated, and I'd like to partner with you. So, if you ever have clients where you see their timeshare, or if you know other credit counselors, I didn't think about it, but a lot of people, their credit gets ruined because they stop paying maintenance fees. They just can't pay them.
Yeah, we're less on the fix side. We do teach fixing, but we teach how to get funding, how to get banks to give a lot of funding, 0% interest credit cards.
Oh wow!
All types of products.
What's your website again?
It's Credit Counsel Elite.
Credit Counsel.
Yeah.
Okay. Credit Counsel Elite. That's cool. That's really neat. Are you a licensed mortgage broker?
No, I'm not. I'm a real estate investor. That's how I got started. I use credit cards to get started into real estate.
Wow. And I can learn about it at your website.
Yeah. We have a bunch of information on it.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So you know the credit card game then probably pretty darn well.
I do. I know it very well. It's been able to bless us. We've been able, we have a list of 9,500 banks nationwide, and we have it broken down state by state, which ones are giving out the most funding. We know their bank rules, bank policies. There's basically a 45-point checklist that underwriting is using to judge you and I. And so they don't teach you that stuff in school, but that's what we've identified, we've learned from, and we've been able to get up to 90% approval odds, the highest limits and the best terms and conditions. So it's been awesome.
What a sweet niche. We've got a couple thousand pretty loyal followers on our Facebook page, and we're growing that. We didn't put enough investment into social media, but we've got a full digital marketing team. My 10,000 owners will get our newsletter every month. I'm going to share this episode and drive them to your website too. I mean, how helpful.
Yeah.
That's so
yeah.
cool.
And likewise, if we have anybody, we've had a couple over the last few years. We've helped out over 4,000 members since 2017. Wow. So we've had several people that have had that experience of timeshares that were messing up their profile. And so I will definitely keep you in mind in the future if I come into that again. And we have a link that I just put in the chat right there that can bring a lot of value if you want.
Great. Yep. Let me pull that up here. Perfect. Credit Council Elite. Got it saved.
Yep.
I can't wait to I'm traveling Thursday to Monday, and it's when I do a lot of research when I travel. So I'm looking forward to I'm really super curious about what you do. That's cool.
Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Well, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. But I appreciate you again for taking the time to jump on today. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot for trusting me to share the story with your listeners. Brandon, you do a great job. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. God bless. Have a great day.
All right. God bless you too, brother. Bye.
This has been another episode of Ready, Set, Go Real Estate Investing Podcast, brought to you by Brandon Elliott. For more information, please visit BrandonElliottInvestments.com. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. Thanks again for joining. Until next time, God bless.